Extreme poverty. Extreme poverty is like starting a survival game with one heart, no map, no tools, and the difficulty locked on nightmare mode. You're living on less than $2.15 per day. That's less than what many people spend on a single snack. At this level, money isn't about comfort, it's about survival. Food isn't guaranteed. Clean water isn't guaranteed. Safe shelter isn't guaranteed. Healthcare is almost impossible to afford. If you get sick, you don't search for the best hospital. You hope your body handles it. Imagine waking up and not knowing if you'll eat that day. Imagine walking long distances just to collect water. School becomes a luxury. The internet feels like something from another planet. Extreme poverty isn't about having old clothes or a slow phone. It's about survival being your full-time job. Poverty. Poverty is one step above extreme poverty, but life is still unstable. Think of it like playing Monopoly with almost no cash, and every time you pass go, instead of collecting money, you get a bill. You may have a small home or apartment. You may have food most days, but everything feels fragile. One emergency, a medical expense, job loss, broken car, can knock everything down. In some countries, poverty might mean living on $30 to $40 a day. In others, that same amount could feel comfortable. Poverty depends on where you live, but the pressure feels similar everywhere. There's also relative poverty. That's when you can survive, but you can't fully participate. Your friends go out, you stay home. They upgrade their phones. You're still using the same one from years ago. You're getting by, but your choices are limited. Lower middle class. This is where breathing becomes easier. Bills are paid, groceries are stocked. You live in a modest home or apartment. Your car runs, most of the time. You have a steady job. Maybe you're a teacher, technician, office worker, or skilled tradesperson. You earn enough to cover the basics and save a little. Not a lot, but something. Vacations require planning. Big purchases require budgeting. You compare prices. You wait for sales. This level is about control. You're not drowning, but you're careful. You're managing your money instead of money controlling you. It's not flashy, but it's stable. Middle class. This is what many people consider normal life. You have a comfortable home, maybe 2 cars. You go out to eat without calculating every dollar in your head. You earn enough to handle needs and still enjoy some wants. At this level, you might work as a nurse, manager, engineer, or small business owner. You have health insurance, you contribute to retirement, you may invest in stocks or real estate. You're not stressed about every bill, but you still care about your budget. You can't quit your job tomorrow and disappear to a private island, but you're building long-term security. It's comfortable, but still dependent on steady income. Upper middle class. Now things start to feel premium. Your income is high. Your job likely requires advanced skills or education. Think senior managers, specialized professionals, successful entrepreneurs. You live in a strong neighborhood. Your kids attend good schools. International vacations aren't rare, they're planned. You invest seriously, stocks, real estate, retirement accounts. You understand that money can grow on its own if invested wisely. You have flexibility. You can upgrade your lifestyle without panic. But you're still aware of risk. You're winning the game, but you're still playing it. Affluent. At this level, money stops being stressful. You have more than enough for needs and wants, and extra for opportunities. Large home, high-end car, diversified investments, maybe rental properties, maybe ownership in businesses. You don't check prices the same way anymore. You check value. Your investments may generate income on their own. Even if you slowed down at work, your lifestyle wouldn't collapse. You may have a financial advisor helping manage your assets. You're not on global rich lists, but your financial cushion feels thick and comfortable.
Upper affluent. Now, wealth becomes influence. Your income is far above average. You may own multiple businesses or large property portfolios. Your investments are significant. You don't just invest in companies, you might help shape them. You may own homes in multiple cities. Luxury cars are choices, not dreams. At this stage, time becomes more valuable than money. You pay for convenience, you hire experts, you delegate. You design your life instead of reacting to problems. Money gives you leverage.
Millionaire. Being a millionaire doesn't mean earning $1 million in 1 year. It means your net worth, everything you own minus everything you owe, equals at least $1 million. Your house equity counts, your investments count, your business value counts. Many millionaires don't look flashy. Some live in normal neighborhoods, some drive regular cars, because wealth and income are different. Most millionaires understand assets. They focus on long-term growth. They often built wealth slowly through investing, businesses, or real estate. In expensive cities, 1 million may not feel huge. In smaller towns, it goes much further. But reaching 7 figures changes your level of security. You're financially strong.
Multi-millionaire. Now you've leveled up. 5 million, 20 million, 50 million, even hundreds of millions. Your investments generate serious income. You don't depend on a paycheck. Luxury homes, international properties, high-performance cars, private investments, art collections. You make decisions based on opportunity, not necessity. But remember something important. Net worth isn't cash. You could be worth $20 million and still not carry much money daily because most of it is invested. At this level, wealth management becomes complex. Taxes, legal structures, diversification. You have professionals handling strategy.
Billionaire. This is a completely different dimension. $1 billion equals 1,000 millions. If you spent $1,000 every single day, it would take nearly 3,000 years to spend 1 billion. That's not comfort, that's scale. Billionaires usually own major shares in massive companies. Their wealth is tied to businesses, stocks, and global markets. They don't just participate in the economy, they influence it. Entire industries can move based on their decisions. At this level, money isn't about lifestyle anymore. It's about power, ownership, and long-term legacy.